Namaste, welcome everyone. Thank you all for being here very much. The main thing that we are trying to do here is to invite you into this perspective, this viewpoint that you are Parashiva. You are the source of everything that happens in your life in a way, because if you have that perspective that we are inviting you to share, then you are seeing things more as a witness rather than as somebody who is chasing after and clinging to things. And of course, that's difficult to do. It's difficult to maintain this point of view. But that's really what the main thing is in the practice, to continuously return to that witness awareness, looking at yourself and really discovering what is it in me that isn't working or that is making me feel constricted and worried. And of course you'll have those periods when you feel all that. But the thing is, and I notice that in myself, that if I have a period when things are particularly difficult, it can be with a person close to you, or it can be with a situation with work or whatever it is, it gets difficult and you get a wave of kind of concern come over you. And I'm sure you all have that sometimes. But what I notice more and more and more that maintaining this witness perspective right on through, not repressing and denying that things are challenging, but being able to have a little bit of distance from it in the sense that, you are observing the play of Shiva, the dance of Shiva as your life. And what I notice is how incredibly gratifying it is if you manage to work through a period of that where you might be extra tired, you might be extra challenged, but you hold on to your perspective as much as you can, and holding in that sense to your energy, maintaining your energy and not losing your energy in worries and fighting and fussing and anxiety, and really getting into a downward spiral inside yourself, maintaining your inner perspective. There's a tremendous flood of gratitude that comes as the picture turns again, and it's a little bit lighter. The atmosphere is lighter. You've gone through something that is no longer a big issue or a big challenge. And then the gratitude, the feeling that emerges is really very, very filled with bliss and filled with, in a way, if not pride, gratitude again that you have been able to maintain your inner perspective. So that's really the main thing that we're encouraging all the time. And that requires, of course, an ongoing letting go, letting go, letting go. You feel your reactions to things. You don't have to let the reaction win out. You don't repress it, but you're allowing it to flood your system, and you maintain your way of looking at it from a little bit of distance. But you see, this is painful, and you acknowledge it. And by acknowledging it and letting yourself go into it and really feeling it, then gradually it changes flavor. So it really is a process for all of us that we go through. And, to maintain this witness perspective is really very, very useful and gratifying. And gradually, we become aware that the world appears and disappears for you according to, if you're opening your eyes, boom, there you see something. If you're focusing on a situation, then you see it. It becomes real. And this very much fits with quantum physics. If you observe something, you're bringing it into reality, your reality. I think this Swedish woman, author, professor in Gothenburg, who's written a book about this, she makes a nice point that when you're young, and let's say you are in the market for a husband or a wife, and you are kind of playing the field, you are looking around, so many possibilities. And this is in a way similar. She compares that to the quantum physics state of pure potential. Everything is real potential, but nothing is real until we decide that's where I'm going to place my focus. That's where I'm going to place my commitment. And when you commit to one of these people, then most of the time, it leads to some kind of deeper engagement. Doesn't always last lifelong, but that becomes real when you're inviting it to become reality by really committing to it. And this is also the case with us in our life. What we commit to becomes real. So if you commit to this transformation process and this freeing yourself of all the patterns and all the tendencies and all the things that make life extra difficult, then, to the extent that you maintain that vision and that focus, you're inviting it to become real. I think that's an interesting way of looking at it by somebody who has really studied quantum physics and bringing it to a very, very practical level. Because right now, we can be in that state of pure potential. We are in that dynamic stillness. We are totally open. And then as we move into life, then, we see various possibilities appear in front of us, and we very naturally gravitate towards certain things, and we focus on it, and it becomes real. And then we, have to complete what we attract. Not then run away from it, but stay with it until it is lifted up and liberated from its karmic baggage. That's why we attract things. We attract things that we need to really work on a higher level, to purify ourselves of karmic patterns that we have in us. So that makes everything a useful process, not a punishment. And any mistakes that you've made along the way, have been made based on the traumas that you have received growing up. It's, not your fault. You're not guilty of anything, but you are responsible for cleaning up the mess by maintaining as much as you can this viewpoint that really loves yourself as you are right now. It is not real what you're feeling. It's not real in a way that you need to keep feeding it. It's real in that it pulls on you, but you have to if you can relate to it as a disturbance that is trying to get your attention, as a thief. The mind is a thief, and all of these patterns are trying to come back and live in you, and they need your energy to do that. So don't give them your attention. You'll gain the confidence that however much they are pulling at you, you can maintain your perspective and your inner state. So, but you can count on periods where it will be a heavy pull. A certain amount of positive feeling and kind of pride, can build up in you because you've really come a long way. So you've invested all of that. Now keep reinvesting, reinvest. And the bank account will grow very quickly bigger. Your energy account and your self-confidence, self with a big S. You don't have to reject the feelings, but you can embrace them lovingly until they transform. But you embrace them lovingly in a surrendered state, in a state of witnessing. Feel your love for this little girl who got traumatized and the young person who went through hell.